What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chichi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman shares her experience speaking to the father of her child after 9 years of not speaking. Let's get it.
I haven't spoken to my daughter's father in 9 years, and we just had a conversation that left me in tears and apologizing. I wanted to make this video because I want to encourage other parents to have the conversation. I'm not gonna cry. I never understood Jenna's father's perspective, and I never understood him. I never took the time to listen because I was so fixed on I'm the victim. It happened to me. You did this to me. You did this to me. You did this to me. When you're dating somebody, it's two different worlds coming together. And without understanding, there's no way those worlds can come together. I didn't know him. I didn't know myself. And like I said, two totally different backgrounds. I never understood how he could, do the things and, make these decisions and all types of stuff. But it's because I never understood. Oh my God. I'm so low-key heartbroken, and I'm just so remorseful. I can't believe I never understood the part that I played in the whole situation. I never knew how I was affecting him. I didn't know how I was affecting our situation. Y'all gotta make the phone call. You gotta sit down. You gotta have the hard conversation. I'm so much lighter than I was before talking to him. There was weight that I was carrying. I didn't know I was carrying. I didn't know. I didn't know. It is so important that those of us who struggle with trauma, we get help. Because had I never gone to therapy, I would have never been able to have this conversation. I would have never been able to hear. I would have never been able to learn. You got to have the conversation. You got to have the conversation. I never thought I was going to be the one apologizing. I was looking for an apology.
All right, guys. So there was a lot said there without her pretty much saying a lot. But from what I could gather from this video, and I thought it was a cool video to kind of react to, she's confessing to having a difficult conversation with the father of her child and realizing that it wasn't all his fault. And there's a level of accountability there. And she realized that she made some mistakes. Otherwise, she wouldn't be apologizing, right? And I think there are plenty of single moms out there who look at the father of their children out there like they're the enemy and they are the victim. And you rarely see a woman who's like, you know what, let me have a conversation and just really understand things from the man's perspective. And then actually, after talking to him, be able to sit there and say, I recognize where I was unfair and I could have done things better. It's a good thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see when it's done. Rarely seen, even on the Coffee Pod. So let's check out a few of these comments and see what the people have to say. First comment here says, more women need to admit this. I left my ex and remained friends with him. Our babies were more important than what he or I did. Another comment here says, I need a story time because I'm trying to understand so I can determine if I'm a problem too. But as of now, I don't see me being one. Just a simple act of a woman sharing her experience, taking some accountability. Women are like, maybe me, herd mentality, sheep mentality, which, when it's used for good, I guess it's good, right? Here's another comment from another woman that says, this was so hard to watch because I'm currently helping my children with their dad because he's just done so much to us. I don't know how I feel about this. She obviously holds anger and resentment towards the father of her children, so much so that she can't even sit down and listen to somebody else who was able to drink some coffee. Here's another comment from another person that says, this needs more views. Same if your child who's an adult now. Make that phone call. You never know the other person's side until you hear it. Here's another comment from a man that says that's because people are more self-invested in themselves that they don't see anything else. I feel my ex-wife did not take that time. And I bet there are plenty of men out here who have an ex-wife who didn't take the time to really sit down and talk to them, but they're just so angry about this and that, they don't really understand. Here's another comment from a woman that says, I went through something similar with my husband. I didn't realize how life after her affected him and how my treatment of him was unfair. She goes on to say, thank you so much for sharing such a valuable moment. We all have to do better considering others and understanding. And the final comment here says from her, it's been 5 years and I finally was able to validate his feelings and apologize for just not knowing better. What an amazing release. Here's another comment from another man that says, this year will make it 9 years with my son's mom. I wish she can be mature as you are. And so you may be thinking, well, why don't you reach out to her? And maybe she's ignoring him and doesn't want anything to do with him. Again, we don't know exactly what's going on in this situation. Another woman responded back to him and says, that's what y'all do. Oh, okay, here we go. Leave women to raise kids alone and then depend on our forgiving nature when the kid's all grown. He responded and said, well, that's not the story, but whatever hurt you, hope you get better. She kept going and responded and says, all the stories are the same. Deadbeat narcissists waiting for the kids to grow up to tell them the mothers pushed them away. And this guy responded and says, well, it wasn't that, sis. As I said, I still was active in my son's life, even though I wasn't allowed to be. He wasn't allowed to be active in his son's life. Look at this. Bitter women over here ready to attack this man. Another comment says, I haven't heard from my daughter's father in over 4 months, and we live in the same country. And I am apologizing to him for being a deadbeat. Huh? I'm not understanding this comment. Is she saying she's a deadbeat mom and she wants to apologize to the father of their child? That's what it sounds like to me. Guys, as always, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.